What's going on, Toy Fam? Ben Piper here from Project Piper Customs, and today we're doing exactly that, showing you the customs in Project Piper Customs. This is where obviously I got the name from, and I'm going to show you today, which is my Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame THOR. So let's take a closer look. Alright, now I've used the Marvel Legends Infinity War THOR, which I'll show you right now on the screen. You all know that figure. So I've used that as a base body. And what I managed to acquire from an awesome customizer and head sculptor known as SF Abs Workshop, if I'm getting that right, or SFabs Workshop over on Instagram and Facebook. I'll leave a link in the description for you. And he was making these head sculpts, and it was one I was intending on doing myself as well, but he pretty much got out the gate straight away after the film. He was one of the first people I saw to actually start making one. So I was like, do you know what? This looks awesome. A lot better than what I was going to do, actually. And I thought, yeah, how much is it? So I hit him up and yeah, managed to buy one from him, and it got delivered a couple of weeks ago, and it is awesome. So let me bring it up close so you can have a look. Let's get some better light on it. There you go. All right. So yeah, he's got the he's done the braid in the beard, and obviously the new ponytail. I'll turn it around for you. There you go. So he's managed to sculpt all of his long locks and his ponytail with the bun. All right. And this thing is absolutely awesome. He hand painted it himself as well. So obviously this is a cast of his original sculpt, but if you go to his page on Instagram, and you'll see his progress and his work in progress pictures of the cast and the sculpting. And yeah, and when he done the cast, hand painted them beautifully. A lot better job than I can do, because face painting is still one of my weak points, which I'm practicing on. But yeah, and it fits perfectly. And yeah, so I managed to crop him. So I thought, you know what, let's make Endgame Thor, shall we? In the armoured version. So I had two of the Infinity War figures. So what I did, let's get Stormbreaker out of the way because he's going to be annoying me. Okay, so as you can see, I've given him a fabric cape, and I've also gone in and given him a nice new paint job. Now the fabric cape, as you can see, it's gone underneath here. Now what I did was I managed to get a scalpel and separate from under here, which was just pegged in and glued, and at the back here. So I cut away all of this, so it revealed all that was left was this part here. Okay, and yeah, what I did was, if I pop the head, I will show you, I added magnets. Okay, so this piece here is very, on the original figure, is very thick. Okay, it's really thick, quite like that. So I took a scalpel blade, or an X-Acto knife, whatever you want to call it, and like an apple, I just started carving away at it to really thin it down so that the head would sit lower on the body. Okay, so you can see all my carving marks. So I managed to carve all that away. I dremeled in some holes and added some earth core magnets, which you can pick up on Amazon, and dremeled in these two, and also there is one at the back here. Alright, and managed to, there you go. And that helps keep the cape in place, and the cape is glued down, but obviously you never know, just in case with the bendy wire, which this is, might move around, just little adjustments, and it's gain easy access to it like that. So I wanted to do that myself. And yeah, so that is what I did with the top shoulder piece here. As you can see, I've given all of his discs a gloss paint job, and I've added in those little silver chips and cracks in these two. I need to go in and add these two, but since I was excited about how it came out, I thought I'd flick the camera on. But yeah, that's literally the only details left to add, is to get all these little silver chips and just paint these orbs here. So I just went in with a gloss, smoky gloss colour, which is, I'll get it for you now, it is a Tamiya Smoke. Okay, and this is a, what do you call it, it's a clear paint. It's what you paint translucent see-through stuff, and clear castings is what you can paint on there, and like this. So this, if this was painted instead of being moulded in the plastic of a light blue and translucent, if this was to be moulded clear, then you'd use a light blue version of this stuff. Okay, so this is what I used, and obviously it dries glossy. So I did that on these three, and I also went in and did the arms. Now I gave the arms, I popped the bicep swivels off, and I gave the arms a dry brush, a very light dry brush, because obviously they're silver in the original figure, of just some craft black paint. And then afterwards I went in with a very light coat of this stuff, and it just gave it a little bit of a sheen, not to where it looks like it's wet like here, but just a little bit of a machine. And I also then went in and ever so lightly dry brushed on some more, come on focus you bastard, titanium silver. Barely anything left on the brush, and just to highlight some of the muscular areas, just very lightly. It's hard to tell on camera now, you can see just there, but it is there. It's just a little detail that I like. Okay, and I'll get back into the cape a little bit more. Let's pop Mr. Thor's head back on. There you go, it sits lovely on there. So yeah, once I've done that, and of course bicep swivel, all the articulation is still there. Okay, it's not much paint rub at all. And that's all it is. It's all top half stuff. There's nothing on the feet. So that's all it did. Now, a lot of people who have gone to do their Thors, they've gone in and tried to do the belly. Now, the belly, I know how to do the belly, but it would have taken absolutely ages and cost a lot of money. Because what I would have done was taken a mould of this section, popped the torso off, and taken a mould of this section, and then casted. We're using silicone rubber, a flexible cast of the belly, but I would have stretched it and then packed it in slightly so that it bulged out, but all the sculpt would have been there, and then I retained it. But I need to get more moulding and casting materials, costs money and time, and this is just something I want you to throw together quick. Plus, you know, a lot of people were expecting him to go back to being shredded when he summoned his armor back on, so I thought, you know what, this is my take on if that was actually the case in the film. Obviously, he didn't have that much of a podge belly when he had his armour on. Yeah, it was a little bit noticeable, but it weren't like when he's in his Thor robe and looking like Lebowski. Okay, it wasn't that noticeable, and I'd argue anyone on that as well. So I kept him thin for now. I might go back if I feel like it, and see if there's anyone in the community that's got the belly piece, or I'll just do it myself, one of the two. So who knows, maybe down the line, if I do get the belly and attach it, then I'll do another video with an update. But for now, so this is how it's come out. Extremely happy with this. Now I'll touch upon the cape a bit more, as I showed you earlier. Okay, let's take that off. So this is a bendy wire cape. Okay, and this cape is actually, I pillaged it from the DC Films Batman vs Superman figure. Now DC Films is a line of figures from DC, but like every DC line that comes out, it gets cancelled after the first or second wave. This one didn't even get off the ground. He only released 2 figures, which was the Superman and the Armoured Batman. That Armoured Batman is probably the best Armoured Batman figure, in my opinion, that came out, and it's a shame that the line got cancelled, because they had a lot of the movie figures up for production, and they showed you concepts of them and they all looked awesome. So it's a shame the line got cancelled, but I did pick up a couple of the Superman, and they had a fabric cape. Okay, so, and with the wire, so I just cut the cape out, because obviously it went straight into his body, and the bendy wire obviously comes to about here. I managed to stretch the fabric a bit further, and then obviously with the black, because obviously it has a black inline and red on the outline, I used some black fabric paint, which is here. Okay, so laid it down, gave it a black complete cover in the black fabric paint. Obviously it then did bleed out into the red, as you can see, a couple of little highlights of it. So I went on this side, and it was already red to start with, but I just topped it off with some more red, and yeah, gave it a couple of coats of that, and it came out pretty good. And what black that's come through that you can see, I actually quite like. It gives it some sort of, you know, war-torn, just some weathering effect, you know, so it's not completely pristine and perfect. All right, and yeah, I just like the fact that these arc over. You know, just a good little nod to his previous capes from his own film and the first Avengers film. So where's me shoulder strap? So let's pop the head off, and yeah, so that is how I achieved the cape, and that just sits there all locked in place, and head goes back on. Okay, and then he's ready to kick some ass. All right, as you can see, I've got a destruction background which I've set up because I'm about to do a sweet shot. All right, so I've got me lightning effects and Stormbreaker, obviously, as you know, and a bunch of lights, a bunch of blue finger lights, my orb light. So I've just got the background setting all done pretty much, and now I'm going to set up the lighting and the lights, and yeah, let's move on to the final shot. But that is my Thor custom as far. All right, just an easy repaint and a little bit of modifications for the fabric cape, but I just wanted to flick the camera on and show you what I had done. Okay, and obviously to show off this awesome head sculpt by the one and only SF Abs workshop, do check him out again. As I say, his links will be in the description, and he does some amazing work, and he's got good prices too. So, and he will ship to the UK. He's an American sculptor, and he will ship to the UK, bless him. And yeah, so this is absolutely awesome. Thank you very much again, mate. I appreciate it if you're watching. And yeah, so stop doing the splits here. Annoyingly, this particular figure has loose legs, annoyingly. So it takes a little bit of finagling to get him to stand up properly. But it's all good. So it works well for displays. And yeah, let's crack on with the shot.